Hello viewers. In this session we resume the remaining portion of paleontological evidences. Before to resume the paleontological evidences, a small correction to be made that in the previous class, in the previous video session, I have mentioned that Mona Lisa paint is present in the Museum of Italy. So I thought so. But today, as the scientific journals and modern technology, modern information says that Mona Lisa paint is available in National Museum of Paris. Okay, that is a change we have to make. Right. Now let's explain remaining part of paleontological evidences. Under this part, first we explain types of fossils. Types of fossils. There are different varieties of fossils available in the sedimentary rock layers. We have mentioned that in the previous class. What are various types of fossils available in the sedimentary rocks? 1. Casts. What are casts? Casts are fossils in the form of cavity after the decay of organism body, like this. This is an organism. It is an organism. It was dead organism. It was buried in sedimentary rocks, means in the sediments. This organism completely underwent decomposition. The body completely underwent decomposition. After decomposition, here a cavity is left like this. In this shape, cavity is left. What it is? Cavity formed in the sediment after the decomposition of the original body. This cavity formed in sediment after decomposition of the organism is known as cast. So what is this cast? The cavity formed after decomposition of organism. Next, mold or molds. Suppose this is the cast formed after the decomposition of the body. We have mentioned here. Cavity means cast. If this cavity is filled with mineral material, if the cavity is filled with mineral material in the cast, that deposited material in the cast is known as mold. It also assumes the shape of the organism, what was decomposed there. So, what is mold? The deposition of organic material or mineral material in the cast. Okay. The fundamental difference between cast and mold is cast is a cavity formed after decomposition of the organism in the sediment. What is mold? Mold is organic deposition in the cast. Okay? These are two types of fossils and other types of fossils. Coprolites. These are fossilized fecal materials. Fossilized fecal matter called coprolites. Coprolites also give us a clue what type of organism might have survived in that area. Based on the availability of the coprolites, you can expect what type of organisms survived in that area. Okay, that fact can be known. Next, traces. Traces. These are nothing but preservations. Preservations in the form of footprints and nests and even burrows. Yes, we can understand what type of organisms might pass it there based on the availability of the footprints. In some areas where sediment is there, if any organism is walked, automatically it leaves some footprints. By examining such footprints, you can understand what that organism might walk there. Okay, these are the footprints or nests or burrows left by organisms known as traces. Next, whole remains. These are original body parts, original whole body or body parts. They are original fossils. Original body or body parts in the form of teeth or bones, etc. For instance, even today, dinosaurs' bones and teeth are available. So they are original parts of the dinosaurs became extinct in the past. So if in the extinct organism, if any part remained as it is, that is considered whole actual remain. Yes, there are many whole actual remains. Some remains are as whole organism. You can say actual remains. What are available as actual remains? Example for them: whole bodies of mammoths. Mammoths were elephants became extinct in Siberian ice caves 25,000 years back. If you go Siberia, you can examine, you can view the mammoth's whole skeleton as it is. Means no part is decomposed because they went into the ice caves under low temperature. Microbial action was completely prevented, keeping the dead organism as it is even today. So mammoths provide best example for whole remains. And other examples, bones of the past organisms, teeth, they are also actual remains. These are basically some few types of the fossils. What fossils we have mentioned? Casts, which are nothing but cavities left in the sediment after decomposition of the organism. Next, mold. If cast is deposited by mineral material in the sediment, that gets or that assumes shape of the organism what died there. That type of filling in the cast is called mold. Coprolites, fossilized fecal matter, and actual remains. These are original whole bodies or body parts. Okay, various types of fossils. Next, an important concept, that is calculating age of fossils. Age of fossils. In order to calculate the exact age of the fossils or exactly how many years back that organism was dead, to know that there are many more technologies. Of those, some of the important technologies are mentioned here. One is carbon dating method. In this method, first you have to understand, in every living organism, carbon is present. Where carbon is available in every living organism from, for instance, animals get carbon from plants. Plants prepare carbon in glucose by radiant energy of sun. So plants prepare carbon from which we take carbon, means animals also take carbon from plants. There are two types of carbon atoms, carbon 12 and carbon 14. Of those two, carbon 14 is unstable. It is able to change into other type of atom. Whereas carbon 12 is stable. It never changes in the organism even after death. So as long as organism is alive, C12 and C14 are stable. After death of the organism, C14 becomes unstable. What happens in C14 molecules? C14 molecules gradually form nitrogen 14 atoms. What happens after death? C14 atoms become nitrogen 14 atoms. For instance, 100 atoms of C14 are present in the dead organism. Originally, when that organism was survived, it had 200 atoms of C14. When that organism was survived, it had 200 atoms of carbon 14, 200 atoms. After death, 200 carbon 14 molecules became 100 molecules and 100 molecules became 50 molecules. That means what happened? Out of 200 carbon molecules, 100 carbon atoms become nitrogen atoms. So remaining 100 atoms are left. Out of 100, 50 atoms became nitrogen atoms. So remaining 50 carbon 14 atoms are left. For conversion of 200 carbon 14 atoms into 100 carbon atoms, 5,730 years of time is required. This is considered half-life time of carbon. What is the half-life time of carbon? 5,730 years. Means for conversion of 10 molecules of carbon 14 atoms into 5 molecules of nitrogen 14 atoms, 5,730 years is required. So here what in this example I have mentioned 200 carbon atoms became 100. How much time required for this? 5,730 years. 100 carbon 14 atoms become 50 carbon 14 atoms. It also occurs within 5,730 years. Based on 50 carbon 14 atoms, you can understand that organism might die 5,700 years, approximately 11,560 years back, the organism might die. So 5,700 plus 5,700 means approximately 11,500 years back, the organism was died. Okay, I here roughly write 11,500 years approximately. So what was the age of available fossil? 11,500 years. So in this manner, you can guess the age of the fossil based on carbon 14. How much carbon 14 is converted into nitrogen 14? Based on that, you can guess. Next method is uranium lead method. In this method also, what is the principle? Uranium atoms are converted into lead atoms. Half-life of uranium is about half-lifetime of uranium is about 710 million years. Means 100 molecules of uranium in the organism becomes 50 molecules of uranium in 710 million years. So half-life time is 700 million years. Next method, potassium argon method, in which the mother atoms are potassium and the daughter atoms are argon. Means potassium is converted into argon. Here, half-life period of potassium is half-lifetime of potassium is about 1.25 billion years. Okay, these are basic processes used in the calculating fossils age. And electron spin resonance process. What is this? Electron spin resonance process. This is most accurate procedure for the determination of age of fossils. Most accurate method for the determination of fossils age is electron spin resonance process. These are various types of methods for determining age of fossils. Okay, in the coming video session, we discuss another types of evidences. Thank you so much.